In today's video, we're going to discuss how to get the most out of GDXY. GDXY is the new gold miners ETF by Yieldmax funds, which help us earn over $300,000 per year in dividends, as you can see below. Also, our performance value shows that we're up 20% for the year, 20.5. The S&P is up 11, the Nasdaq's up 11, the Dow's up 6, and the Russell's up 3. So even with these Yieldmax funds, Defiance, and Cornerstone, we're outperforming all the indexes on a year-to-date basis. And today the market was down, but we're down only 0.19%. If you look above, the S&P was down 0.27%. So even with this margin debt that we use, this $192,000 in margin debt that we use, we're still outperforming the indexes on down days. Yieldmax, Cornerstone, and Defiance funds help us live the FIRE lifestyle, which is financially independent, retire early. If you need help doing the same, email me for my e-guides at aikentod48@gmail.com. So I have a few points I want you all to consider when it comes to GDXY and how to get the most out of it, because as we know, Yieldmax caps its upside. So you're not going to get the upside appreciation with GDXY, but you're going to get really nice dividends. So we'll talk about how to maximize GDXY in this video. The first thing you need to understand is that for every $1 you put into your account, you get $4 of purchasing power. So I'm just using a fraction of this 1.5 million in purchasing power to get ahead. Okay, this 192,000 in margin debt, we earn over 300,000 per year in dividends, so that's going to be paid back in less than 1 year. My debt is, and then my account will grow by the equivalent amount. So if the market is flat from here on out, our account value is around 775,000. So if we add 300,000 into that, we should be over $1 million, and then our debt will be at zero. In fact, we'll be at plus 100,000 in cash, but I never keep cash because cash is trash. It loses to inflation. I'm always going to be reinvesting my gains, and so I'm always going to keep margin debt on because I'm trying to get ahead. I have to beat inflation. Also, my interest rates are so low on this margin debt that I don't mind holding it. I've negotiated my rates down twice, and many of my clients who bought my e-guides did the same thing. When you buy my e-guides, you get free access to the Discord chat room for life, and you get my phone number for life, so just keep this in mind. GDX has been on a tear, as you can see on its chart, and I don't own GDX because there is no dividend really to get excited about with GDX, so I've been selling options on GDX. If you want to see my portfolio, just click the join button on my wall, or I'll link that in the description below. So GDX, how do I play GDX? Well, I've been selling options, and all my members know that I recently closed my options out on GDX. We just let time go by and we received a few $100s in profit for doing nothing. But now GDXY has come public, and it should have really large dividends and take care of the option selling process for me. So I don't have to sell options on GDX anymore. I can just buy GDXY. But the first thing we need to look at is its maintenance. GDXY is 50% maintenance. If you go to GDX, you'll see that it's 30% maintenance. So that's why I sold options on GDX originally. The maintenance was much lower on GDX. So there's going to have to be a trade-off here with Yieldmax. Yieldmax is going to have 50% maintenance, but they're going to have much larger dividends for us. So this could end up offsetting the higher maintenance here. If you need help understanding maintenance, that's in my Volume 3 e-guide. So maintenance is everything when you're trying to live the FIRE lifestyle, which means, again, financially independent, retire early. And when you're trying to live freely from a 9 to 5, you have to be able to withdraw out of your brokerage account and pay your bills. I have to have this available for withdrawal high as a result. Low maintenance names keeps this available for withdrawal number high. This way I can withstand over 20% corrections in the market, and I can still withdraw freely out of my account. Even with this debt number here that you see below, I can still withdraw out of my E-Trade account at any time. I can swipe my E-Trade credit card and go wherever I want. Also, when I withdraw from ATMs, there's no ATM fees. So I can withdraw again from my E-Trade credit card from any ATM anywhere in the world for zero fees, which is actually pretty unique. Most times when you withdraw from an ATM, you have to pay fees. With E-Trade, you don't have to pay the fees, and I can, again, withdraw at any time because my maintenance is low, and therefore my available withdrawal is high. So GDX, low maintenance, GDXY, higher maintenance, but it's going to have a higher yield to offset that higher maintenance. And once again, if you need help understanding maintenance, that's in my Volume 3 e-guide. So GDX, I sold options on that. GDXY is going to take care of the legwork, so I don't have to worry about selling options anymore on GDX. And maybe Yieldmax will do a better job than I could anyway selling these options. And as I just said, I've been selling options on GDX, but I also sell options on AGQ. AGQ is a silver play, so if you want exposure to metals, you can go with silver as well, but silver has 100% maintenance. And we received about $1,500 just for selling that option, which lowered our margin by $1,500. I then use the proceeds from these AGQ premiums to buy GDXY. So I didn't even use any of my margin debt on GDXY. Once again, I paid for that with AGQ. But be careful, AGQ once again is 100% maintenance and it sucks up all of your equity. Silver is also the poor man's gold, so just be aware silver is much more volatile and it's 100% maintenance. That's a killer to the FIRE lifestyle. But if you sell these options right, they can knock down your margin substantially, lowering your margin interest, lowering your leverage, and then that also pays for GDXY once again. And then to get more upside exposure out of these metal plays like GDXY, I'm buying stocks like BHP. Okay, BHP is a metals play. I already alerted all my members of these buys with these metals plays, BHP, Vale. Okay, they have low maintenance and high dividends. So BHP was a no-brainer. We had a big pullback today across all the metals complex. I was buying this dip a little bit, but I'm keeping these small because metals and oil and all commodities in general are small in the indexes. I go with a total index approach to get my outperformance here at this channel. Most of my money is in Cornerstone. If you're new to this channel, Cornerstone is a 4-star fund and it has a 21% dividend every year that it sets at its NAV. So right now it's around 16%, but normally it has a 21% dividend. And if you look at a chart here on Morningstar, it goes upward left to right on its chart. If you look at a chart on E-Trade, you'll see that it goes sideways to down. That's because you have to factor back in dividends and drips. Same for Yieldmax funds. They go sideways to down. Generally, you have to factor back in dividends to get the true chart and the true performance of these funds. And with Cornerstone, you also have to factor back in rights offerings. If you can time this fund between its rights offerings, you can get 20% yields plus 20% premiums, because closed-end funds give you premiums, unlike open-ended funds. Again, closed-end funds, they give you premiums, and if you play them properly, you can really level up your account. So I get the 20% dividend in Cornerstone every year, plus the 20% premiums on average. Sometimes it's more. In 2021, I had 50% premiums almost, plus the 20% dividend. So you can get huge gains with Cornerstone if you time them between the rights offerings, and that's in my Volume 4 e-guide if you need help playing Cornerstone. Cornerstone's also low maintenance, so it's tied to the index. It's fully diversified, unlike with metals and things like that. It has some metals in it. It has the entire index in it, but it's also 30% maintenance. And again, if you play it properly, you can get the 20% dividend and you can get the 20% premiums on average. So you can get upwards of 50% gains if you play Cornerstone properly. We alert you of the rights offering announcement here in Discord. That's what Discord was originally started for. Now this chat room is mainly devoted to the FIRE lifestyle, which again is financially independent, retire early. We have around 1,000 members here in this Discord chat room who are pursuing this FIRE lifestyle, who use loans and margin to get ahead in their account. And we also watch out for the rights offering announcement here in the Discord chat room. So originally Discord was started for the rights offering announcement, but now it's grown to such a large community. We talk about all things in the Discord chat room, including Yieldmax funds, Bitcoin, you name it. It's the best Discord in the world, I think, when it comes to passive income. Just ask anyone here in this Discord chat room. It's all love, all positivity, because we're all making money, getting ahead, especially with Cornerstone. And one more thing about Cornerstone, it has a special drip. So it drips that dividend down at the bottom for free money every month. So that's how we really level up with Cornerstone. And when I'm playing with these GDX funds and metals plays, I have to keep in mind that they are commodities once again, and they're underrepresented in the indexes. So to get ahead, you have to buy the indexes. And all my plays in my portfolio are pretty much index based, or are a large percentage of the indexes. So Cornerstone meets that need. I also use Defiance, okay? QQQY, IWMY, and JEPY. I use Defiance for my dividends. I use Cornerstone for my growth. So if you're wondering how we're getting this outperformance, it's because I do buy Yieldmax funds, but I keep them small. I really like to buy Cornerstone and Defiance so that I get my growth from Cornerstone if you play the rights offering properly. And then I use Defiance for my dividends, okay? Defiance just gives you a lot of dividends. They pay me, 60% yields on average with Defiance. So that's how I'm getting these dividends, is with Defiance and Yieldmax, and then I'm getting my growth from Cornerstone. And then with GDXY and Yieldmax plays, I just sprinkle them throughout the portfolio to get a little bit of extra growth and to get more participation to these lesser known themes that you don't want to have FOMO with, okay? So I like Bitcoin, so I have the Bitcoin fund for Yieldmax. I like Apple, I like Tesla, so you can buy Tesla and Apple through Yieldmax to take care of the FOMO issue that most investors have. And then we go with the indexes to lower our downside risk, because the indexes fall by less than stocks. So I can't put too much in Yieldmax stocks because they fall by large amounts. That's why I like GDXY, because it's diversified. It has all the gold miners in it, but it's still underrepresented in the indexes. So beware of metals and commodities when it comes to investing. You want to stay with an indexed approach, which is why I choose Cornerstone, and Defiance as my largest holdings. Okay, so if you need more help doing what I'm doing, email me for my e-guides at akintodd48@gmail.com. When you buy my e-guides, Discord access is free for life, and my phone number is free for life, so just keep this in mind. Also, if you want to follow my portfolio, just click the join button on my wall, or I'll link that in the description below. This is where you can see how I use my margin and how I withdraw out of my account to live freely from a 9 to 5. And if you like the video, click like or subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.